Hello there, YouTube audience, and this is Kills for Food here, coming at you live with another chapter of the Quest for the Diamond Sword. And I received some positive and negative critique based off the last episode. The reader's critique was compared to quote-unquote a cock-blocking of gameplay. So what I will be doing from now on is putting it up in the corner, kind of like I do with the channel logo, except it'll be in the left corner, not the right corner. And probably a little bigger, but that way it does a cock block quote on all that. That way you still get the full gameplay, because I know a lot of you like to watch that while you listen. So without further ado, here comes Chapter 4 of the Quest for the Diamond Sword. Chapter 4: Treasure Hunters in the Temple. Steve opened his eyes and saw dust. Well, it wasn't exactly dust. It was sand, and it seemed to go on forever. He was in a desert, far from the familiarity of his wheat farm in the village. Steve was worried about finding food. It seemed like a barren wasteland. There was nothing. He had heard about people ending up in the desert, finding mirages, and getting lost in the expanse. He could build a house with sandstone blocks or mine. Worried that he was low on food bars, he walked through the desert in search of anything. The tan blocks were almost blinding. Stairs were built out of bricks of sand. He stood high atop a stack of blocks to see if there was a village in the distance, but there wasn't. Steve thought this was the end. He was going to die, and he'd be respawned back in the wheat farm. If that happened, zombies would probably just attack him in his home. He trudged along the sandy streets of the desert, hoping he'd see some life. When he had given up hope, Steve started to mine. If he could get to a bunch of sandstone blocks, he would be able to build a house and start a new life in this desolate world. He used his pickaxe and got deep beneath the surface. After mining for a while, he came upon an enormous square. It was a temple. He knew that was where treasure could be found. Maybe he could find his diamonds. Steve dug a hole into the center of this desert temple. The temple looked like an Egyptian pyramid. As he entered the temple, he heard some voices. He wasn't alone. Alright, here's the first reader's critique of the episode, and we're not even a minute into this chapter. So, Steve was mining with a pickaxe that he pulled out of his ass, just like everything else he has apparently, like all the obsidian from the last chapter, which you can't get without a diamond pickaxe, but we're not even going to look at that. He pulls out this pickaxe and mines through sand with it, not a shovel or, a hand fisting sand. And he finds a desert temple underground. Something's wrong with that. "Who's here?" Steve screamed with a quiver in his tone, but there was no response. He could hear people whispering, and he was worried that he would be attacked. "Who are you?" Steve called out again. Utter silence. Suddenly, 3 people emerged from behind a sandstone wall. 2 boys and a girl. "Don't tell him, Henry," a boy with dyed blue leather armor and a blue helmet yelled at his friend, who stood holding a pickaxe and wearing gold armor and a gold helmet. "Max, everyone knows the only reason people go into temples is to find the 4 treasure chests," Henry told his friends with the blue helmet.
"You have to trust him,"
chimed in their third friend with pink leather armor and a pink helmet. "Lucy, why should we?" Henry sounded annoyed. "Are you treasure hunters?" Steve questioned the group. After encountering the griefer in the nether, he was suspicious of everyone. "Maybe," Henry said with an attitude. "Are you alone?" Max asked Steve. "Yes," he replied, hoping they weren't griefers planning to ruin his day or even kill him. But he didn't have anything too valuable on him, because he had spent all his gold on the enchanted golden apple, and Steve was close to starving. He looked over at this gang of 3 and realized that he was going to have to trust and join them. He had no other choice. "How are you planning on getting the treasure? You know it's trapped," said Steve. "Of course we know. We're experts," said Henry.
"Do you want in? We can split the loot,"
Lucy offered. "If you're experts, why do you need my help?" Steve was suspicious.
"Do you have extra rooms in your house?"
Lucy asked Steve. "Yes, I have 6, Steve replied and added for no reason in particular, "I also have an ocelot named Snuggles."
"That's nice."
Lucy nodded her head. "If we let you join us, will you take us to your wheat farm?" Henry asked with a smile. "Yes, but I'm afraid it may be taken over by zombies. When I was helping the local villagers, I dropped my armor, and now there is an armored zombie on the loose." "Armored zombies are powerful," said Max. "I know," Steve agreed. "We will help you slay the zombie," said Henry. "I have a plan," Steve said. He realized he couldn't battle the zombies alone, and since he had nothing for these guys to steal, he had to trust them. He needed help, so he told the gang his plan to find 40 diamonds and craft the most powerful sword.
"That's a genius idea,"
Lucy smiled. "We want in," said Henry.
"Why?"
Steve couldn't shake his suspicions. "Our home was destroyed, and we'd rather hunt for treasure than build a house. If we lived on your wheat farm, we could go on endless treasure hunts collecting jewels," Henry told Steve.
"And Max is an expert fighter," Lucy added, "so you really want him on your side."
"Okay," Steve replied. He was going to trust these new people. He was going to make new friends. But suddenly, as he walked further into the temple, he realized he might be stepping into a booby trap. So reader's critique here, real brief. Sorry, I can't talk today. Steve came out of the nether suspicious of griefers, and then he met the 3 people who could very likely be griefers, seeing as they're in a temple on the hunt for treasure, and Henry just has this really sadistic glint in his eye because now he finds out that Steve's valuable. Verbatim in the book, Steve was valuable. And now Steve is like, "Okay, let's be friends, you're my friend, I have to join you to get what I want, blah, 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 blah." And hoopla, hoopla. And now, not only is Steve convinced that you can make a sword out of 40 diamonds, but there are 3 other people who could be like, "Dog, you can't do that. You can't make a sword out of 40 diamonds. No, they're like, "Oh my god, that's genius." If somebody would be so kind as to find me a link or something that shows me that you can indeed make a diamond sword out of 40 diamonds in Minecraft, I'll do something. I will spotlight the shit out of you. I will spotlight you for a month, okay? But I really need to know, because if there is a way, then I'm doing something wrong. But if there's not a way, then I really I want to tell him. I want to write him a very harshly worded letter about why you cannot write a book about Minecraft and have all this stuff that's wrong. You know? You guys are feeling me, right? You're feeling this too, right? It'll be very harshly worded. The word choice will be very specific. I need a dictionary. But anyway, so that has been the quest for the diamond sword, chapter 4, and as promised, it's up on Sunday. Don't forget to comment, and subscribe. Also leave your critique if you can, that'd be great. And don't forget that once we hit 50 subscribers, that $50 gift card goes out, as well as a second and third place prize. I decided what the second prize is going to be, actually. And the second place prize is going to be a 4 set of Minecraft books. It's a crafting guide, a survival guide, some other guide, and a redstone guide. And that amount is $20. So if you get second place, that's what you'll be getting. Third place, I'm still not so sure on yet. So far, that's $70 worth of giveaway. Alright, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And this has been Kills for Food, over and out.